All right. Hi, everyone. We are so excited to have you here for our 4Front info session. Um, Let me just share my screen really quickly. Okay. So you're at the 4Front. Welcome. Um, 4Front is, if you are not familiar, if this is your first interaction with 4Front, welcome. We are the Baltimore Jewish Community's Teen Engagement Initiative. Essentially, we are all about empowering, supporting, and engaging Jewish teens in Baltimore. We want to give teens a seat at the table to help them raise their voices, and we also help to make sure that the adults in the community and our Jewish community are ready to hear those voices. So we really want to elevate teens because we know that they have so much potential. You guys are incredible. Yes, you are our future leaders, but we also believe that you are leaders right now in your own right. So we want to create spaces for you guys to lead and show the way. And while you're doing it, hopefully make some really amazing friends, do some really cool things, immersive trips, grow your leadership skills, explore your Jewish identity, and so much more. So we are all about teens in our community and how we can elevate them. We do that through hands-on teen programs, these signature programs that you're going to hear about. We also work with parents in the community. We know that so much of how a teen is raised is from the household, so we really want to help parents in raising resilient Jewish teens as well. So we have parent programming, and we also work with other youth professionals in the community. So maybe you're also involved in BBYO or NCSY or through your synagogue. We really work with all the people in our Jewish community who work with teens. So that is just a quick snapshot of 4Front. I'd love to introduce my team. As I already said, I'm Diana Solomon, the Senior Director. I will also introduce, he is not with us on this Zoom because of Passover, but we have Rabbi Hanan Gans, who is our Assistant Director. He oversees some of our programs, and he just joined our team this fall. Next, we have Isabel, if you want to introduce yourself.
Hi everyone, I'm Isabel. I'm actually from Baltimore City and I grew up in the 4Front programs back in the day, so I just know how valuable these programs are. And I have the wonderful pleasure of running the Social Innovation Fellowship and the Peer Leadership Fellows program. I've been here for almost 2 years now, which is really exciting. And these programs are really awesome and what got me into college, so I know even if it's not on your radar yet, these are really valuable programs. Can't wait to get to know you guys a little bit more. Carlos?
Hello, everybody. My name is Carlos. I am from Baltimore as well. I went to Boys Latin back in the day. I'm the new Diller coordinator, so I've been here for about almost 2 months, so a little under 2 months. And I can't wait to tell you guys more about the program in a few minutes and get to know you all as well. So just stay tuned. It's going to be some good stuff.
And Becca.
Hi, I'm Becca Rosenfeld. I'm the middle school director and I'm also the Teen Service Council program associate. I have been involved, excuse me, been involved with 4Front, like Diana, from the very beginning, both helping to write the grant and also as a Jewish teen professional. Before I came to the J, I've been working with Jewish teens as long as your children have been alive. So I love 4Front. I'm excited to get to know some of you a little bit better.
Awesome. And I am so privileged to have such a rock star team. So whatever program you are interested in or join, you are in really good hands with these really phenomenal pros. Um, as I said, 4Front does a lot, but we are specifically talking tonight about our 4Front signature programs. These are our cohort-based leadership programs, and we have four out of our five that we're accepting applications for right now. And you're going to hear that a lot of times. Applications are open now and they close April 27th. But we have our Social Innovation Fellowship, Teen Service Council, our Peer Leadership Fellows, and Diller Teen Fellows. So we're really excited to share with you about those four programs. Each is a little bit of a different grade, definitely a different topic. So we're going to get into that a little bit more so you can really find the program that's the right fit if one of these speak to you. So first we're going to start off with the Social Innovation Fellowship. So I'll hand it off to Isabel to share a little bit about that experience.
Awesome. So this is actually one of my favorite programs. I got to do it back when I was in high school in the first year of it. So the Social Innovation Innovation Fellowship is all about learning about social entrepreneurship through a Jewish lens. So creating a business, learning how to problem solve, and doing this all while keeping our Jewish values in mind. And what you guys will get out of this program is learning how to have an entrepreneurial mindset. We talk a lot about like the skills and attributes of a leader that kind of go into this. You'll learn what a business model is and how to kind of go through a bunch of steps to make that and how to address a problem with a business idea. So it's really crazy because you go all the way from coming into this program not knowing anyone and then working on a problem, creating a whole business idea, and then pitching it. So just 2 weeks ago, I think it was, we had the culmination of this year's program. There were 35 teams who presented 9 different ideas to an audience of 150 people. So it's really awesome. You get to learn how to public speak, how to network, how to interact with community leaders. And how the program basically works is we start off with this boot camp style day where we really hone in on a problem that you care about within a team. So you're working together on a team and get to have that personal interactions. Sorry, my dogs. There's a bunch of business building workshops and connection opportunities over about 5 or 6 workshops throughout the year, starting in November. And then the program culminates with a Shark Tank style pitch competition, is how we like to describe it. So teens are going up, sharing their ideas with the community, and there's a whole panel of judges. And then throughout this workshop, throughout the program, we go to different sites around the community. We went to Third Space, we went to Openworks, so some Jewish and just some really innovative spaces around the city to learn from others and just see what Baltimore has to offer in this world. It's actually becoming such a huge equitech hub. And what's really cool too is that each team is assigned a mentor from the community. So you may know people who've been involved in this program as mentors. They come from a wide variety of backgrounds and really give us that level up to the program. And what's really cool is this year we localized our program. We've always had a curriculum partner in this. Started out with a guy we were working with in Silicon Valley, and now we are working with a professor in the College of Business and Economics at Towson University. So that's been really awesome to localize this program and really level it up. And that's where we held our final competition and had a lot of professors come out actually. And the last thing I'll say, which is a big favorite part of the program, is that we do a New York City overnight trip. So what happens with that? It's a really great, we have in all of our programs, we have kind of like an intense bonding opportunity, whether it's a Shabbaton or the New York trip, where we go and do a lot of fun cohort things, but then also get to meet with really awesome entrepreneurs who are in the city or learn about innovative businesses and how they have an impact on the city. So that's always a highlight of the program. And yeah, I'll pass it off to our next program.
Thank you, Isabel. So much happening in that program, and it's really, really phenomenal. Okay, next we have Teen Service Council, and I'll hand it over to Becca to speak about that.
So we are the newest of the signature programs. We're just wrapping up our first year. Basically, this gives the teens involved a chance to give back, to do social action projects, and really plan them and learn how to plan them. We spend the year learning different leadership skills, different event planning skills. We're going to jump into some fundraising next year. And, they plan pop-up events for their friends, for themselves. Our biggest one has been Muffin Day. Some of you might have come. You might have known people who have come. Everything that this group does gets community service hours. We are starting off new next year with a overnight so that the kids can spend some time getting to know each other a little bit and then learning together in the morning, doing some leadership activities in the morning. And then we meet monthly for 2 hours on a Sunday afternoon. And we have a pop-up coming up that you guys should definitely come and check out if you're considering Teen Service Council. April 27th. I know that is a busy day, but hopefully we're starting around 12. Hopefully you can come, you can see what it's about. The kids studied and learned about different social issues, and they really wanted to dive deep into substance abuse. So we're hearing from a member of the community who's in recovery, and then we're going to work on a community art project. And it's similar to what we've done all year. We learn about topics, discuss them, and then learn how we can dive deep and plan these programs for their friends and for themselves.
Awesome. Thank you, Becca. Yeah, this is a great program for ninth and 10th graders. A great opportunity to like get your feet wet in 4Front, we like to call it, because it's a little bit less of a commitment than some of the other programs, but you're still doing really meaningful service learning, leadership development, exploring your Jewish identity, making Jewish friends, all of that. So you still get a lot of those really core things, but it's just a little bit of a lighter load for Teen Service Council. So a very cool, very good option. All right, next we have Peer Leadership Fellows. So I'm going to hand it back to Isabel.
Awesome. Yeah, this is another program that I have the pleasure of running. So Peer Leadership Fellows is all about learning how to be a community connector and activator, I like to call it. So you're learning what relational engagement is, how to have meaningful conversations with peers, and doing this through kind of like a community organizing and relational based perspective. So we talk a lot about what networks are, why networks are important, how to kind of have those meaningful conversations. I think it's really hard in this digital age to get those skills all the time and really pushing you outside your comfort zone, but while we give you the skills and the workshops and the training to do so. We have a mental health training component to this program, which is really great. And what you'll really gain from this is how to kind of be more confident in yourself, how to interact with others more confidently and more ready for the real world. This is a program actually for 10th and 11th graders, whereas the social innovation is for 9th through 12th graders. So it's a smaller pool, but it really comes together as a really tight-knit cohort. And a key part of the program is they actually identify people in their network that they're not best friends with, that they're not close with, but they briefly have interacted with in the past and work over a couple of months where we do a lot of reflection and checking in and supporting of each other as they do these network conversations where they're building up to with like kind of like an icebreaker conversation and then diving more deeper into like their Jewish identity and how they can relate to these other teens. So it's really helped with a lot of people preparing for like interviews, but also just going into new spaces and feeling comfortable. And what's really great is they kind of culminate with we start off the program with a Shabbaton experience, which is probably the teen's favorite part. You kind of get thrown into this weekend up at Pearlstone, and I had this wonderful Shabbat experience as a cohort led by me. And we dive into what relational engagement is and the basis of what peer leadership is. But this is the huge bonding opportunity for the group, where we kind of really get kicked off as like feeling what it's like to feel part of the group and then how they can go and activate spaces beyond just peer leadership fellows. And then over the course of from September to May, we have monthly meetings on Sunday afternoons, typically at the J, where we're kind of breaking down these conversations, doing the mental health trainings, doing the practicing of like how you present yourself for an interview conversations. And then we have a midway point where we do kind of a mini retreat where we dive even further to understanding ourselves. The program is really great when it culminates with the teens actually putting together a program where they show the community what they've learned about the importance of being engaged with the Jewish community, being engaged as a teen, the challenges that teens face. So it's a really great opportunity to kind of show what they've learned in a very tangible way to their parents and mentors. And this program is a really great opportunity for so much growth you see from the first day you kind of get thrown into the Shabbaton to the last day when you're presenting in front of dozens of people. And this program is based off of a lot of programs out there in the community, whether based off of a Hillel program, as well as a lot of what the network does with adults. So this is a teen version of kind of that community connector program. Yeah, and that's all I have to say, but it's a great one.
Thank you, Isabel. Yeah, PLF is a phenomenal program. It's really amazing in helping teens build more connections in the Jewish community and expanding that network. Okay, and then we have Diller Teen Fellows, and I will pass it to Carlos to share about that.
All right. Excuse me. All right. So The first thing that's very unique about Diller is that it's like part of a global program. So the Diller Teen Fellows like program itself has 32 separate communities. So 16 of them are in Israel and 16 of them are outside of Israel. So it creates 16 partnerships. So, for example, like LA is Tel Aviv, so Baltimore's is Ashkelon. So we have a very, very close relationship with Ashkelon, and I'm sure a few of you parents may already know of like this kind of Ashkamore relationship that we have. It's kind of beyond Diller. So this is for 11th graders. So if you're rising into 11th grade, this is like the perfect time to apply. Make sure you guys get the link for that. And so it does have a little more of a formal application process. So it involves like references, an individual interview, as well as a group interview. But if you were to get accepted, so this would include, so it's monthly, what we call mifgashim. So it's like kind of like we're all together and we all kind of learn part of the Diller curriculum, which is kind of we all make it into our own, but it's kind of a holistic thing that the whole Diller program is also experiencing at the same time. There's three Shabbatonim, so like three kind of weekend retreats for Shabbats that we do, as well as the 8-day exchange, which I'm sure you guys are all intrigued about. We just had this literally last week, so we had 20 kids from Ashkelon come into Baltimore, and we did a bunch of great things. We took them to an O's game. They lost, unfortunately, but we did a lot of cool things for them around Baltimore. And so the fun part is that every participant from Baltimore is going to be hosting an Ashkelon teen, which also creates like a really cool friendship, kind of pen pal-esque situation, which is amazing. And then it all culminates for the 3-week ISS Israel Summer Seminar, which is going to be in July, which is where you meet everyone from all around the world. And it's a great culmination of just all these values and these amazing things we've learned, mainly through Jewish leadership and Tikkun Olam. So that's kind of like, volunteering and repairing the world and things like that. So it's an amazing, amazing program. And if you guys have any questions, I see we already have a raised hand. So yeah, I guess I'll end there.
Amazing. It's we will circle back to questions, but if you want to write it in the chat, we can make sure we get to it. Thank you, Carlos, for sharing about Diller. It's really a phenomenal program. Diller actually predates 4Front. Currently we're in our 19th cohort of Diller in Baltimore. We were the second group to join this global program, the second community or partnership, really, I should say. And the topics of this program are really, you're exploring Jewish identity, Jewish leadership, activating that leadership into Tikkun Olam, exploring Jewish peoplehood. So what are Jews around the world? And then Israel. So there's a lot of really deep, amazing self-development topics in this program. So that is the 4 programs. Sorry, I see the question in the chat. Okay, amazing. The last program, I'm really actually not going to talk much about this, just so that you are aware that we have it. This is a program that is specifically for seniors. It's called our Gesher Teen Board Members Program, and 4Front actually works to help support the involvement of teens on boards of Jewish organizations around Baltimore. We currently have 24 high school seniors serving on the boards of 12 organizations around the community, and then we convene those teens together into a cohort-based program. It's very cool. We run it sort of on a separate registration process. It's actually by nomination and application. So if that's something that you or someone you know is interested in, feel free to reach out separately. We'll be getting into registration and applications for that in like May. Okay. I want to get to the good part. Next, we have our alumni and participant panel, because as I said, you can hear about how the workshops work from us, but it means so much more to really hear from actual participants in these programs, what they are like and what they gain from it. So I'm really excited that we have Eileen Wise here with us, who is a past 4Front parent, 4Front advisory community member, and just such an amazing advocate for our work. And she's going to be moderating a panel with Zachary, Jonah, Molly, David, and Danielle, who I'm going to, in one moment, pin on the screen so that you can see our wonderful panelists. So sorry, that's why I'm like doing and typing at the same time. But Eileen, why don't you go ahead and give us an intro
Sure.
to get the screen set up?
All right. Good evening, everyone. I'm Eileen Wise. And as Diana shared, First of all, I love 4Front, and I love the idea of bringing teens in to get engaged in their Jewish community, to make new friends, and really be able to give back. So I think there's a lot of wonderful opportunities, and I'm excited to be a part of this. I started off with social innovation with my son. I think it was the second social innovation group. And at that time, they did go to Israel. And it was just a great experience. And I loved what Daniel got out of it so much that then I became part of the advisory committee for a few years. And now I just continue to do things like this just to support all of the beautiful opportunities that 4Front has for us. So we have our alums and we have current participants right now for our panel. And I feel like a panel is the most powerful way to really get a sense of what these programs do for teens and how that would connect to your teen. So we can have lots of people speak, but when those kids, those teens share their experiences, that is the most powerful and inspiring. So our teens and young adults today are going to share their name, the school that they're attending, their year or their grade, and what 4Front opportunities they've participated in. So we'll go ahead and we'll start with Molly.
Hi guys, I'm Molly Herberger. I'm a freshman at Poly, and I'm currently in Teen Service Council, but I've also attended pop-ups all throughout middle school and this year, including Muffin Day and others. And then also this past summer, I did CIT at J Camps, which was connected with 4Front. Definitely recommend.
Thank you, Molly. You are really involved, and I'm glad that you shared all those extra pieces. David?
I am David Netzer. I'm a first year at Colgate University, and I am an alum of the Social Innovation Fellowship, Diller, and Gesher.
Thank you, David. And Jonah?
I'm Jonah Levy. I go to BT and I'm in my sophomore year. I've done social innovation and also I am currently in the peer leadership.
Great. And Zach or Zachary? What should
No,
I say?
no preference.
Either way. Okay, Zach.
I'm Zachary Abramson. I am a junior at Beth DeFilla, and I am an alum of SIF, and I'm currently enrolled in Diller.
Thank you, Zach. And Daniella?
Hi, everyone. My name is Daniella Cooper. I am a senior at the University of Pittsburgh, and I am an alum of Diller and Peer Leadership Fellows.
Thank you, Daniella.
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to start off by saying, how did you get involved? How did you get involved in 4Front? Zach. Oh, sorry. Zach.
I got involved initially because I wanted to find a program that was entrepreneurial, and I found SIF, and I was like, this is great because it also incorporates Jewish stuff. But I originally found it through my mom and through the J.
Perfect. And Molly, thank you.
So, I have an older brother who also did 4Front, so I got really interested through seeing how much he loved it and how much he was able to branch out from it. And then also I do different programs just throughout the J, and so I saw it around and it was really interesting and intriguing to me.
And it's like your second home. Anybody else want to share how they got involved in 4Front? All right, so we're going to move on to our second question. So why did you choose the program that you experienced or that you're experiencing now? Why did you choose that program? Jonah.
So I chose SIF mainly because I wanted to learn about how to become an entrepreneur. But in PLF because I wanted to get better at my ability to branch out to new people.
Great. And Jonah, can you share the names of these programs so that we can share that with our guests?
Oh, yeah, so it's Social Innovation Fellowship and Peer Leadership Fellows.
Thanks. Anybody else? Why did you choose the program that you did or that you're doing now? Zach.
I already kind of talked about why I chose SIF, but for Diller Teen Fellows, I chose this program because I really like exchange programs and I really like things that change my perspective. And that's one of the main points of Diller. And so I think that it kind of really encapsulated me and made me want to join.
Great, Zach. Anybody else to share why they chose the program or programs? All right, we'll move to the next one. So think about this. What 4Front experience really stands out for you? Some kind of experience. Oh, good, David.
It's difficult for me to choose because I've done a couple programs, but recently Gesher during my senior year of high school, I had the opportunity to sit in on a board of directors meetings or meetings plural for IMAD, which is a local charity, and just having that opportunity to really understand how a business works, and what it looks like in a board meeting when big decisions are made, things like budgeting or operations. That was really, really crucial, and I enjoyed being able to see that firsthand.
Thanks, David. And what's really great is that when Daniel was in social innovation, at that point, there was only one place to have an opportunity to be on the board, and that was at the JCC. And now Diana said there's 12 opportunities, 12 organizations, and that is a powerful experience. Who else can share a 4Front experience that actually stands out for you? Yes, Molly.
So, the one I'm doing right now, Teen Service Council, is a really cool opportunity, especially because not only you're planning different pop-ups for throughout the community, not just like specifically the JCC, but you're bringing people out from different communities. So it's really nice to kind of learn how to kind of do that outreach, but also what goes behind planning a program. And we're right now we're focusing on planning a program for a cause that meant something to us. So we're actually having a pop-up event about substance abuse. And it's really interesting to be able to put what you're passionate about into a project.
Great, thank you, Molly. Anybody else that can share a little bit about their what 4Front experience really stands out for you? Oh, Jonah.
So when I was in Social Innovation Fellowship, we were able to go to New York for a weekend. That was very fun. You got to go to Times Square with people for like 2 hours, but you also got to see um, different types of businesses that started off as an entrepreneur and got to see like how they became the business.
Great, thank you, Jonah. Anybody else that wants to share? All right, so there's a lot of buzz about 4Front. What is so unique about it, being a part of this organization that offers so much to our teens? What is so unique about it? Zach?
So for me, the thing that sticks out the most is that it's well, very pluralistic between like different types of Jews. So for me, like from the community I come from and from Beth Tefillah, I'm kind of exposed to more of the same type of Jew. And so it's really cool for an organization like 4Front to come around and it kind of shows you all the ranges of Judaism and like how different people practice and all types of things like that.
That's a great point, Zach. Who else wants to share what's so unique about like being part of 4Front? Oh, I'm sorry, Molly.
To kind of add on to Zach, you meet people from all different schools. In 4Front, you're meeting people with all different types of backgrounds, and it's really interesting because the work that you're doing really, it's you're working together a lot of the time, and so working with each other and learning different people's perspectives and ideas is really interesting. And you gain a lot of skills from being able to do that. And also, Forefront just has such a broad range of opportunities that you can really find the one that suits you the best.
That's great. And it also just widens your friend circle. So the more we can have these opportunities to work with other people, to meet other teens, you definitely will grow that friend circle, which is what we all like. Um, so share like a really special forefront experience or memory that actually lives with you today. Maybe you think it kind of resonates at college or in high school, but some forefront experience that really just stays with you. Zach?
So when I was a part of Social Innovation Fellowship, my group, it's as you guys know, it's a group-based program. So initially my group was having some troubles and we didn't necessarily we had some issues getting our idea to fruition. And then eventually we got to the point where the main like Shark Tank pitch style event came up and we won. And we were absolutely shocked. But for me personally, I was so happy because I learned how to effectively deal with people I didn't necessarily know how to deal with before. And so we were able to cooperate and win based on our teamwork, which I learned through Forefront.
That's great, Zach. There's so many opportunities to grow, whether it's socially, whether it's professionally, whether it actually shows you some different directions you might want to go in life after high school or after college. It just opens doors for you. Daniela, did you want to share something? I'm sorry. A forefront experience or memory that kind of lives within you?
Yeah, I am happy to share one. I think for me, one of the very like prominent memories of my time at Forefront is, I guess this is more general, but the different Shabbatons I went on, both as a peer leader and as a member of the Diller cohort. Unfortunately, I'm old and my time in Diller got cut off by COVID, so that was a little upsetting. However, something that's very something that ring like is still in my head is how we were able to function despite having all these
That's
like COVID protocols that we had to deal with. So I still got very close to my cohort. My senior year of high school, I was a JC for Diller, which is a junior counselor. Um, and I still was able to connect with that cohort despite having a bunch of limits to our typical programming. And though I didn't get to go to Israel both years, very sad about that. I have made connections with the Ashkelon fellows from my year, which was awesome. I was talking to, I believe it was someone I was a JC with the other day. So
That's great. Thank you, Daniela.
yeah, of course.
So if we so think about how Forefront can kind of prepare you for those next steps, whether it's from high school to college, whether it's from ninth grade to 12th grade. How is Forefront preparing you for your next steps in school or just in life, like outside of school? What is it doing for you? Molly?
So, I mean, one of the, I guess, starting parts of Forefront for most of the things, you have to write an application. Just that in itself, the starting blocks of Forefront, it's already preparing you for later steps in life. Like, I have to put in other applications for camp and for jobs, and honestly, it's giving me a head start learning how to write well. And then, same with those team bonding skills, you need that later in life, whether it's later for a school project or I mean, honestly, in future situations where you're gonna have to be at work, you're not always gonna get along with everybody the best, but you're learning how to work with each other and communicate and work as a team still.
Oh, that's great, Molly. Oh, sorry, David. Have I been missing your hand? Please share. And also,
Um,
you can catch up and share other questions that you wanted to answer. I'm so sorry.
no, 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 it's all right. But I think that this is a good question. I want to answer this one.
Okay.
This is kind of Diller Teen Fellow specific, but getting to Israel and meeting, hundreds of other Jews or people that live across the world, definitely prepares you for college. I remember coming here and meeting people from all across the country and, international students. And I felt like I was better equipped to talk to them and meet them and become friends with them because of the experiences I'd had through Diller.
That's great. And David, can you share for me though an experience that really stands out for you? Just as you think back about all of your forefront experiences, which were quite a few, what really stands out for you?
Yeah, well, I remember the Social Innovation Fellowship. I'll tell a story a little bit similar to Zach's, but I remember as a 15, 16-year-old, it was really intimidating on our presentation day to sit in front of a bunch of business professionals and, share our little kind of dumb idea in some ways. It was really nerve-wracking. The preparation was pretty difficult. I still stand by that we were robbed of winning, but I feel like that's kind of prepared me for, being in college and making presentations and sharing them with, my professors and my classmates, or even in class discussions. It prepared me to be able to speak my mind and share my opinions with my peers.
That's great. Thank you, David. You know, I think there's so many experiences that can become a part of you by joining one or two or more of these forefront opportunities. A lot of it has to do with how we develop, from like the inner us and how we bring that out so that giving kids the opportunity to be leaders, giving kids the opportunity or teens to actually work as a team and bring people together. So many of these skills will travel with you through high school as well as into college and beyond. So my last question is so what would you tell teens to encourage them to explore the forefront opportunities? How would you kind of motivate them to just give it a shot? Molly.
I mean, there really is nothing to lose and everything to gain. You make amazing friends, you make amazing connections, amazing skills, you get great opportunities and just great memories, if anything. So it's really amazing and you really get whatever you put into it, if that makes
Thank
sense.
you, Molly. And I wanted to go to Daniela for a minute. And Daniela, I did want you to share if you have something to share about how Forefront prepared you. I mean, now you're like graduating, you're going to go out to the real world. So
Yeah.
share a little bit about that.
Yeah, actually, I'm very excited to answer this question because and this sort of can also answer the question about advice I would give. Um, I didn't realize it at the time, but Forefront participating in these programs sort of set me on the journey of finding my major, finding my niche, finding what I'm gonna do post grad. So I give me a minute. I'm going to talk about myself if that's okay. I'm a
Yeah.
psychology major, a communication major, and I'm getting my certificate in leadership. If you ask anyone who's ever known me throughout my life, they'll say I have always sort of gravitated toward these leadership positions, but I don't think it was until I participated in Peer Leadership Fellow that I really realized that was part of my calling. And then again, when I participated in Diller, I have a very strong Jewish identity. It's something that's super, super important to me. And then the year after, I decided I wanted to be a JC. So I decided I wanted to not only further explore my Jewish identity, but help other like high school students explore theirs. So if it weren't for my participation in several different Forefront programs, just in general, my involvement with the Baltimore Jewish community, but Forefront specifically, I don't know that I would have realized the path that I meant to be on. Um, So my advice, I guess, would be, as Molly was saying, you have nothing to lose. You have everything to gain. So I absolutely recommend any forefront program you have the opportunity of participating in.
That's great, Danielle. And I think that we've covered just so many opportunities to grow and why kids, teens should just take advantage of at least one of these opportunities. Once you take advantage of one, that's it. You're going to move into another one. So let's go to that last question again. Just want to make sure I'm catching people. So what would you tell teens to encourage them to take that step? David.
I would tell them to do it. My closest friends now, we met, through 4Front. I still talk to my friends in South Africa, in Israel, my friends across the world, really. And I think that the fact that I'm sitting here on this panel, when I could be, my bed scrolling TikTok or doing whatever, I'm years removed from this, from 4Front at this point, and the fact that I want to give back to a place or a program that's given so much to me, should tell you guys how much 4Front really means to me and the opportunities it's given me.
That's great, David. Thank you. Who else wants to share how they would encourage others? Oh, Isabel, did you want to share? So, oh, Zach.
Just as a simple piece of advice, just do it. Don't overthink it. Don't be like, oh, they take up every Sunday. Just like do it and you'll get something out of it. Especially if you buy into the programs, I'm guarantee you'll get something out of it. Just do it.
I love that, Zach. All right, so our guests here tonight, if you want to come on screen and if you want to ask any questions directly to a student or just to the panel or our graduates, please come on screen and ask.
I'll also really quickly share that if you want like the perfect formula to hit all or as many of the programs as possible, we can talk. There's like a little progression that's good. But we do have 5 programs now, so you can't do all of them, but you can do almost all of them.
Well, I want to say thank you again to our alums and our current 4Front participants. Great job tonight. And I do think that you shared a lot, you taught us a lot, and we appreciate it.
Amazing. Thank you so, so much. The you have nothing to lose and everything to gain. I think I'm gonna put that on our next recruitment flyer because that's a line. Nice, Molly. I love it. But it's really true. So I really, really want to thank you, Molly, Jonah, Zachary, Daniela, David, making the time. David, I think what you said, like you and Daniela are years out of these programs, and the fact that you took time to come back and talk about them and do this, I'm really, really grateful. And just speaks to the impact. So thank you guys. And thank you, Eileen, so much for doing this and for moderating. I think people got to hear a lot about what these programs are really like. Um, Amazing. Okay, let me quickly unpin each of you guys. And then we will kind of wrap up by sharing what the next steps are. Now I'm hooked, I'm interested. What do I do? So just give me one
Yeah,
moment.
do you want me to do that, Diana? Or
Yeah, sure. If you want to go ahead and start talking, I also have a slide for it. As I
Great,
do all
yeah.
of these
So our
techniques.
application process is pretty straightforward, I like to think. There's just slightly different things about each of the programs. And I think we have mostly 8th and 9th graders and a couple 10th graders on here. So all of these programs can be applied to using the same application. So sometimes people are interested in maybe 2 programs and they're trying to learn more about it. You can select both of them. But so if you go to our website, forefrontbaltimore.org, there'll be a banner at the top of the page where you can click on it or you can click around, and our applications is pretty easy to find on our Instagram as well. And so this is kind of like a common application basically. So you fill out kind of like your basic information and then you'll select what programs you're interested in doing. Keep in mind that there's different like age rate, high school years for each one. So on the website, that's really clear. But we can also help you talk through which one might be the best fit for you. because they are all really different. They're the same thing of leadership, but they're all different focuses and different time commitments. But so if you do the application, there will be certain questions for each of the programs. They're mainly short answer. We want to get to know you. We want to get to know why you're interested and why you're going to be like an engaged participant. But then after you send in your application, and that those close on April 27th. So you have like just 10 days. It's a lot, but it's also not a lot. So like maybe you're really excited right now. You text a friend, you send them a link. That'd be great. But we have a large number of applicants coming in, and it always surges at the end. So make sure you get them in. But with Diller, it's the most complicated process because it is such a selective, large scale international program. So you have the application, you have 2 reference letters written by people in your life. There's an individual interview, and then there's also a group hour and a half interview. And so this is really to simulate what the program will feel like so you can get to know you individually and as how you'd interact with the other fellows. And this is super important because it's such a tight-knit bond. You spend so much time in this program. And so that's the little bit of a heavier load, but I swear once you make it through that, it's like smooth sailing and really fun. And then for peer leadership and social innovation, which I will be interviewing you for those, it's a small group interview. So it's a great opportunity for you to share about yourself, but also to get to do kind of a smaller 10-minute activity just to see how you work in a group and how comfortable that is for you. It's more of just an opportunity to get to know you in a small group setting because it's a great way to meet people and get more excited about the program. And so that will be with myself and a lay leader. And there's also lay leaders in both the Diller individual interview and the group interview. And these are just people from the JCC and the 4Front committee who really care about these programs. And then Teen Service Council, there's an application and then a 30-minute small group consultation. So this is just to get to know Becca, who will be running those, and the other teens in the program, and just get a vibe for what you'll get, what the program is. We end all of these interviews giving you a sample calendar for what this past year looked like. We are waiting for the Raven schedule to come out, so we do not finish our calendaring until the second half of May, so don't worry. And just so you all know too, most of our programming, we try to make it happen Sunday afternoons as much as we can. There are some Sunday mornings or Sunday evenings, and almost all the programs take place at the JCC on the second floor, usually the Teen Commons, but we're growing, so there might be one down the hall and one in the Teen Commons at the same time, and we'll combine for dinner sometimes because there's so much going on with 4Front. So that whole interview process, actually, we have interviews starting next week. So if you get your application in this week and you're like, let's get this done with, come on in on Tuesday and we can chat, and then you don't even have to worry about it because I know this time of year is crazy. But then we will have cohorts selected and you will receive emails or phone calls the first week of June. So there is a lot of time that kind of is between now and then, but you're going to be so busy wrapping up your school year, and then we'll get all of your details before the summer so you can know what you're getting into for the fall and make sure that all of your programs line up with your schedule. And we're all really easily accessible by our emails on the website, or if you want to hang back here, we love to talk to you more specifically about different programs. But I think that's all the information, unless I'm missing anything that you guys can think of. But I swear it's not intimidating. It's a great opportunity to practice how you interview.
It is a very good learning practicing process. And the other thing I think Isabel said, but just to reiterate, is you can only participate in one program. Doing two is a bit too much of a load. We don't recommend it or allow it. But you can apply for more than one if you're interested in going through the process of multiple to kind of learn more about it. But that's definitely not necessary. Because you'll be participating in one next year. And these are just really amazing opportunities. I think you've heard so much tonight about what you get from 4Front. Each of these programs, as we said, has a different topic, but they all give you leadership skills. They're a resume booster. They're pluralistic. You're meeting teens from all over Baltimore, different schools, different denominations. You're having immersive experiences, whether it's retreats or travel. You're doing really experiential, immersive learning. So you're going to get that with all of them, no matter the program. Molly, I see
And
your hand. Sorry.
Also, if you have any high schoolers, make sure they come to our substance abuse pop-up event happening April 27th. It's welcome to all teens in any community. They don't have to be Jewish. Make sure they're there. There will be lunch served, and you can help create a community art piece. It's going to be amazing.
Perfect plug.
awesome.
Thank you,
And then
Molly.
really quickly too, I just wanted to hit on some of our programs are like a wide range of costs as well. And if like financial aid is a concern, you get accepted into the program and then we work with you to make it work. So it never should be something holding you back from applying to a program. I just want to throw that out there.
Yes,
Yeah.
I appreciate that, adding that, Isabel.
We want you to
Um,
participate.
yes, we don't want cost to be a barrier. Um, okay, so that was a lot of information. Thank you guys so much for joining. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to stop the recording. But then if you have questions, we are happy to stick around and answer anything, whether you want to unmute and talk or just raise your hand. But I'll go ahead and thank you everyone for coming. Stop the recording.